welcome to Mrs. Sebastian's classroom again. I'm so happy you've joined me for this learning adventure. So today we're going to be doing origami frogs, and keeping in line with spooky animals in October, we're going to talk about poison arrow dart frogs, the most deadly of all the frogs. So we're going to learn some interesting facts, and then we're going to do our origami project. I hope you enjoy. Poison arrow dart frogs come from the rainforest of Central and South America. Most poison arrow frogs may only reach the size of about 1 to 2 inches. And if you're a centimeters fanatic, that's about 2.5 to 5 centimeters. Many amphibians, or those animals that live part of their life in the water and out, create toxic compounds from glands or have trace amounts of poisons on their skin or in their bodies. Poison arrow frogs produce poison potent enough to cause great harm to humans. Some species of poison arrow frogs produce a type of toxin that is so powerful that only 0.00001% of an ounce can potentially kill a human. The very bright colors of the poison arrow frog, characteristic of many toxic species, are a warning to predators. Like all amphibians, poison arrow frogs have porous skin, and they respond quickly to changes in their environment. The health of their populations can be an indicator of the health of the environment as well. All right, to do this frog origami, the supplies that you're going to need include maybe some markers of your choice. If you happen to have any googly eyes laying around, you could use those for these too. And the paper. So the paper is a unique size. It is going to be, mine I'm using is 6 inches by 12 inches. So you need something that has a longer length, and then the other side is going to be half of that longer length. Mine happens to be just like origami paper, where it's white on one side and colored on the other. I actually made this using fadeless paper, so if you have any of that laying around, this works great for it. So our first step that we're going to be doing is we're going to flip it over to the white side, and I like to turn my paper sideways so it is horizontal, going left and right. It makes it short and wide. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick up this left side, and I'm going to fold this paper in half so that the left side lines up with the right side. And just like anytime you do origami paper, try to line up those folds as straight and as even as possible, because it will affect your art later on as you do the folds. And so once I have these two lined up here just the way I like them, I'm going to use this hand and I'm going to just press down. And if you have a hard time pressing creases, you'll see me periodically use like the edge of a marker to do that, or you could use a pencil. Any of those would work out just fine. So all I did was I picked it up and I folded it in half. All right, for our next step, we're going to leave it open on the white side. So you'll just open it up like a book. Should be a crease down the middle. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to take this edge here, and I'm going to fold this corner over to this corner so that this edge lines up with the crease in the middle. Just like so. All right, our next step is we're going to be taking this bottom right corner and we're going to line it up right over here. And this is going to create a crease going this way. So here we go. We're going to take this bottom edge and line it up with the crease, and all in the same step. So pick it up, fold it over, and then go ahead and crease that down. All right, go ahead and open that back up. And now we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. We're gonna grab that top left corner and we're gonna line it up down here at the bottom of the crease in the middle. Go ahead and touch those there and line it up as best as you can. All right, open it back up and then take that bottom left corner and bring it up to the top of the crease in the middle, lining up that bottom edge with the crease in the middle. All right, when you have them all opened up, it should look like there's a crease going vertical down the middle, and then you should have these two X's and crease marks on either side. All right, the next thing that we're gonna need to do is we need to take these outside edges and we're gonna fold them over so they meet in the crease here. I'm gonna start with the right-hand side. And again, we're just folding this inwards so that the outside edge lines up with the crease just like this. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. Pick up that left-hand edge and line it up with the crease in the middle. All right, when you open both those flaps back up, we still have the X's on either side, but now we have a vertical crease going down the middle of them. Next, we're gonna rotate our paper here. So now we're looking at our paper in a vertical format, also known as portrait on the computer, so that it is tall and vertical, tall and narrow. All right, so we're gonna be doing this step. This next step is a little tricky. You should watch me do it the first time and then you can do it with me the next time. But look, I'm just going to bring these two outside edges together like this. And then I'm gonna pull it down like this. And then I'm gonna put my finger in this crease here and go all the way up. So my finger's a little train conductor. He travels up the track until he wears a little hat. So now we have this triangle here and we're gonna just crease that and pull that down all the way. If you missed it, I'm gonna show it again. All that I did was I brought these two together like this, pull it down, and sometimes you can just flatten it with your hand and it'll work. If it doesn't work that great, let your finger travel up that little track until it reaches the point, and then you can usually flatten it down. Check yours. Does it look like mine? All right, our next step is we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So take this crayon here, because it looks like it's an orange crayon, and this is the wrapper for it. And we're going to be rotating those 180 degrees. And now we're going to do the same thing with the top here. Take those two sides, bring them together, pull it down, And then, like I said, sometimes you can just flatten it like this. Other times you got to put your finger in that little crease and push it up, and then you can flatten it. So go ahead and do that with this side now. All right, if you made it this far with me, that was probably the hardest step to do. The rest of these, there's a lot of small steps, but they're pretty easy to do. So here is our next step. So we're going to take and leave it like this, so we haven't rotated it at all or flipped it over. But I'm going to be taking this side here, all right, and I'm going to fold it upwards. So take that corner, that point, the top flap only, and you want to make it touch the top point here. So we're just folding it like this. And it just so happens I didn't fold quite so straight, or maybe my paper wasn't cut so even, and you can actually see the line here in the edge of the paper. But all I did was I picked up this top right flap and folded it up. And you know, frogs have symmetry, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Pick up that left top flap, and you want to just fold it like this, so it lines up that bottom edge with the crease in the middle. So our next step is taking this right flap here, and we're going to turn it from right to left and just fold it over. So that's all I did, was I picked up this top part here and I folded it over to the left. Then we're going to take this bottom flap here and do the exact same thing. Just fold it over to the left. It's like turning pages of a book. Now this next step is we're going to take this side right here and we're going to line it up in the middle. So to do that, I'm going to pick up this right corner here and fold it like this. So if you missed it, keep watching it. But that's how I'm going to pick it up and fold it over. Just like so. And crease it down. For those of you who do a lot of origami, it's almost like the kite fold, if you're familiar with that. All right, check yours. Does it look like mine? All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold those papers, those flaps back over like a book, remember? So we're gonna pick up this top flap, fold it over, pick up this bottom flap and fold it over. So we just take the top flap and fold it over on each top and bottom portions of our origami. Then I'm going to pick up the other flaps on the left-hand side and fold them over to the right. So fold that one over and then fold that one over. So now I have two flaps on the right-hand side and none over here except for this really cool triangle. So we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side. We're going to pick up that corner. We're going to line up this edge with the crease in the middle, fold it over like you would make it look like a kite, and crease it down. All right, now check yours. Does it look like mine? We're going to fold over one flap from the right hand side at the bottom and one flap at the top. So all I did was I picked up that one flap and moved it over. That's at the top and the bottom. All right, check yours. All right, so next, what we're going to do is this, and this is a little tricky. It's easy to do, but I am going to point it out very strongly to you. So this bottom corner here, we're gonna fold it up so it meets close to the middle. But before you do that, it's not really gonna meet exactly at the middle. I've done this diagram many times and it always works out better if you go just below the middle point. So where is that gonna be? For me, that's probably gonna be right about in here, just a little bit below that center point in the middle of your origami. So I'm gonna pick up this bottom corner and make the tip touch that little mark I made, which is just below these triangles that are here. So you don't want it to make it touch that edge that would be like right in here. You want to make it go just below it. All right, next, I am going to take this top flap here and I am going to make this edge line up with the crease down the middle. So we're folding it down just like so. And do it on the other side too. All right, so now we're going to work on making his legs, and really they all kind of work the same way. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take the edges, so look at the bottom right flap here. I'm going to make this edge here, right here, line up with the folded part right there. So I'm going to just take this and fold it out like this. Oh, I have a little white line there so you can see it really nicely. But basically, I'm just taking that triangle and kind of folding it in half in a weird way. But it goes like this. Just making that outside edge right here line up with the crease mark right here. And then I'm going to do it with the other side, but of course you'll be folding it a different direction. And then we're going to do that with the top too. Boy, we are almost there. If you missed the top, here it is again. All right, check yours. Does it look like mine? And I am going to be folding up this bottom edge here so it is above this point in the middle where all those triangles kind of converge. So that is to come together. So this is our middle point. So I'm going to take this bottom edge and it's going to go just a little bit above it. So I might stop right here, for example, when I do my folding up. So I'm just going to pick up this bottom here, go a little bit above. See how I went above that middle point? Check yours. Does it look like mine? And then we have one more fold to do. And now we're going to be taking this edge right here and we're going to fold this all back down so this edge becomes even with the bottom edge. So we're folding this in half. I know there's a lot of paper there, so do your best to press it down. You can also use a marker or a pencil to kind of help you crease that down. So it looks like this now. So all I did is once it was up here, I just folded this back down like this. So now I'm going to flip the whole thing over like so. And he has this little fan fold crease at the back of him. And what that does is it allows me to kind of, make them hop and jump. How fun is that? Sometimes you can get them to do backflips, sometimes complete somersaults. Oh, I did a full somersault there. I know you couldn't see that. I'm going to try it one more time. Ah, yeah. So you can have fun with these. I like to sometimes decorate them too. So if you wanted to add any of those spots that you know a lot of the poison arrow frogs have, you are welcome to draw those in and color them in any way you'd like. I'm just going to add a few here, and I like to kind of keep with symmetry. Maybe even add a few lines for claws. And you could do eyes right here if you want to. What I also like to do is if you do have the googly eyes, and I have these that are stickers, you can put those on too. Those are fun. Just like so. And you can have fun with them. Maybe have a competition who can hop the furthest. All right. I hope you enjoyed doing this origami frog with me today.